So here's an issue that's been debated since the Civil War. It was even a topic of a episode of Gunny Time. I thought we'd take a quick, unscientific look at it and see what results we come up with. For test rifles, we're going to use an antique Spencer converted to 5650 centerfire, and then we're going to use a modern 4440 centerfire for the Henry. So we're replacing the old copper rimfire cartridges for new centerfire cartridges in our test rifle. We'll be loading the 150-year-old Spencer with black powder. So we'll do a little test here and see how fast these guns will run. We're going to load both rifles with 13 rounds, which is the capacity of the modern-made Henry with the 4440 ammo. So 1 minute and 11 seconds. Start. So we're going to have to do a reload on the Spencer to get 13 rounds out of her. We're going to use a Blakely's cartridge box, which was available in late 1864, but it wasn't very popular because it was heavy and awkward, but it did facilitate a quick reload. Imagine a row of repeaters firing black powder cartridges. The target would soon be obscured in a cloud of smoke. So we've got 1 minute and 7 seconds. So actually the Spencer actually beat the Henry. That's a surprise to me. We've got over 100 rounds of ammunition, so we're going to do some offhand field shooting and see what these guns can do. If repeating rifles were available in 1860, why did it take so long for the Union Army to adopt them? Well, most of the blame falls on 67-year-old Chief of Ordnance James Ripley. Ripley was a by-the-book, lifelong soldier who helped develop the Springfield rifle musket, and he was convinced it was the best arm for the service. Charged with equipping a huge army, Ripley did due diligence by sending agents overseas to inspect the weapons of the European nations and comparing costs of the new breech loaders and their specialized ammunition. But the consensus of expert opinion of the time was inclined towards the muzzleloader over the breechloader. It has been speculated this decision prolonged the duration of the war. Ripley was replaced in 1863 for his refusal to take advantage of the new technology. Although there were fears the new repeaters were too delicate for the service and that soldiers would waste too much expensive ammunition, they performed extremely well, and the new metallic cartridges, which for the first time incorporated the primer and the main powder charge together, did not self-detonate under rough handling as some predicted, and served much better in the field than the paper cartridges then in use. Comparing the Henry and the Spencer side by side, I've come to some conclusions. Both rifles are reliable and accurate. I found the Henry to possess superior gun handling characteristics over the Spencer. One stroke of the lever ejects the spent shell, cocks the hammer, and loads a live round. 15-round magazine is a huge plus. With the underpowered rimfire ammunition, with 26 grains of powder propelling a 200-grain bullet was a big drawback. The loading arrangement on the Henry prevented the attachment of a bayonet. But probably the biggest issue was the inefficient Henry factory, which could not supply large numbers of rifles. Only 1,700 were purchased by the government, and a total of 14,000 produced. That being said, I found the Spencer the better arm for the service. Firing a much more powerful 50 caliber 350 grain bullet over 45 grains of powder and the ability to attach a bayonet, plus lower cost and a much more efficient factory supplying over 100,000 rifles to the government with over 200,000 produced. But what is interesting to note, after the war, the Henry design was incorporated into the new Winchester repeating rifles, and the Spencer Repeating Rifle Company soon went bankrupt.